Swaleh Biggy, and we're coming live from the Nairobi National Theatre with our very own talented guest Mzee Squinch mwenyewe ako ndani ya nyumba.
It's Squitch.
Oh, ni Squinch.
Squitch.
Shule nilisomea jo. Nielewe.
Imenti sawa.
Usichome. Usichome. Utachoma kusema hivyo.
Unajua not ban photo.
Jamaa shaza kunivunja mbavu. Asema you will not ban photo.
I will not.
You will maintain radar.
I will maintain the radar.
You are going to play with radar.
Yeah, with the radar. The radar will come.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the number 6 radar.
Number 6 radar.
I will be distributing the passes until we score.
Sawa, you will be contributing the passes hadi tufunge. Yeah. So maybe Squitch atuambie alianzaje ya ama alijipataje kwa acting.
Oh yeah, acting world. I've been an actor for the past 10 years, I guess, professionally. Yeah. And I quit my radio job. Professionally, I'm a radio journalist. I'm a professional reporter as well. So I had to quit my job because I wasn't happy, because I'd gotten to this, what is it called, comfortable place in my life where I just graduated from college. I had my diploma and everything was working out pretty well for me. Like I had a job, man. I could do radio shows from Monday to Monday. I had so much energy, but then I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled, man. Si ati kulikuwa na disaster or anything. I actually chose this because it's called the dive. If you want something so bad, just give it your 100%. Kama unataka mtu unamwendea mzima ukujangi ni kama unajaribu kama ni umde mrembo kwa hapo unasikia amekuattract, you know. Be man enough and tell her what you feel. You know, so I was a man enough to quit my journalism career to pursue a career in performing arts, and God being faithful in my life. You know, I was working in a Christian radio station. I'm a very devoted Christian, but I'm very godly myself. I believe in a supreme being. I do not come from the school of thought that this earth just woke up and became a boom. Nah. No, I'm not of that. Whatever, but long story short, there's this British director who came to Eldoret town where after I quit my job, that was in 2011. Yeah, he came around and he was looking for 2 artists in the whole of Eldoret to get into an acting scholarship, into a training program where you can be trained to be not just an actor but a performing artist, for instance. Yeah? So this company is called the Theatre Company of Kenya. That is how now I got into professional acting. I had been an actor before, from primary school. When I was in primary school, I did a play that was banned by the Ministry of Education because it was too adult-like, even for children to act. Back in the day, we were like 14, 15. I think that's the first time I got on stage, and there was a romantic scene. We were not kissing on stage, but we were insinuating some love diminuendo between the two of us.
Buda. Kizungu tu. Kusema kweli director hajaelewa. Mpeleke pole.
Nimpeleke na rieng. So kulikuwa na collapsing kafiti sana, and that brought problems to the Ministry of Education. That was in 1996.
What?
Yeah, I'm way much older than I look, so don't get it twisted. Yeah? So at that time, that's when I did this play, and my director at that time was a university lecturer. He was called Professor Bigambo. The son is actually a political analyst right now. He's called Bigambos, Javas Bigambo. He's very prominent in the political scene in terms of political analysis and stuff like that. So now the father was my director. So this guy was very intelligent. You see, now this is a primary school kid being directed by a university lecturer. So at such an early age, I'm being introduced to a lot of skillful acting. So I'm blessed. That's why I say I'm blessed. I got into the field with very quality training behind myself, and So in 2011, I decided to go for the audition, and that was the number one pick in Eldoret. Like, I became number one, bro. Like, I have a number one thing on me. I don't understand. You ni favor to your God.
Nasema Eldoret mzima wendo litop.
I mean, on top.
Wajua hiyo ndio konga advantage yetu watu brilliant upstairs. Wajua kupata watu watushinda konga ngumu. So lazima tu tukue hapo on top.
Nakuona sana.
And in fact, tunajua tuko, by the way, we are very few.
Oh, yeah.
Tunaweza hesabika tuwezi fika wa 10 watu brilliant.
Oh yeah, actually, in terms of personality, I learned this from a former relationship that I'm an ENTJ. I'm an extroverted, intuitive thinker. Like, in terms of personality, I'm very extroverted. I'm very intuitive, and I think a lot. So I did a personality test. Actually, it's a test that was tried out, I think, in 1980 by a lot of university professors and. Let me adjust myself. Professors and big people around Europe who came up with a set of questions that you can answer to discover if you're an introvert or an extrovert, if you're high-tempered, if your levels of intelligence, are you attracted to knowledge, or do you get something new and you just let it pass you by and stuff like that. So I did the personality test, and I turned out to be an ENTJ. So this particular personality is just like 3% of the entire world are ENTJs. Only 3% in guys, and in women it's 1%. So they're these they're called peculiar characteristics, because you will find them being book smart. Whether it's in sports, they're also doing well. Whatever it is that they do, there's just a mark of perfection. Like, this is beautiful, like it's nice, it stands out. So I came to later discover that when I was way much older. Like, I didn't know, but it's good to discover yourself, ask yourself questions, like even go and do a personality test, like get something online and answer a few questions. Like those questions were like, in case you went on your first day to school, ungeenda kukaa wapi kwa daro, like this is your first day in a new school, and you have to pick where you're going to be sitting. What influences your choice of sitting either in front, at the back, at the center, on the left side, on the right side? You understand? Yeah. Because of how you want to place yourself to receive knowledge. So that comes automatically. So characters like mine would like to sit in front. Either because I remember all my days in school, I used to like sitting in front and on the left side.
Mbona mbele?
I don't know. I think the first time I became conscious of where I was sitting, I had a very beautiful home science teacher. So being close to her, to me, I don't know, I was just being a kid and being stupid, but that woman was beautiful, man. And I think it's the day I even told her, hey, teacher, when I'm super. There's a day I told her, she was like, yeah.
And what was her reaction?
Kid, you're crazy. Because, I had trouble in primary school with chicks. And as in class 6, this is going to sound ashamed, but it was beautiful. I loved the whole process of it. In class 6, I had a crush on a chick called Maureen Atieno. She was dark and beautiful and some nice chocolate lips, and she was a beautiful girl. And I used to walk Maureen home after chuo, ningetembea na Maureen, make sure Maureen amefika home. Just walking with her just gave me a lot of satisfaction. I knew I was
kidogo. Na Maureen sasa yako wapi?
Maureen apparently is in Eldoret. She's still a good friend of mine.
Oh, so mna link up bado?
We link up, man. Me, I'm Buddha. I'm sentimental. I keep my own.
Hey, noma sana, noma.
I keep my own. I don't throw my own away. So back to how I got into the whatever. Am there something else you want to ask me?
Yeah, tuko tu hapo bado kwa story ya acting. So when you join acting, so
I got into the training program. It was called the Performance Training Program by the Theatre Company of Kenya, headed by Keith Pearson. He's from UK, but he's been in Kenya for like more than 40 years now. But he's awesome. He's a good. The good thing about Europeans is that these people know how to invest in quality stuff. Yeah, European people know how to. If it's you I'm dealing with, I have to make sure that I get everything that is good about you. Like I can squeeze juice out of you. You understand? Like, so getting into the training program, it was a 45-day training program, and we were being paid per day.
So per day hiyo siku mlikuwa mnalipwa pesa ngapi?
Tulikuwa tunalipwa thao, our food is taken care of, our accommodation. We used to be booked for hotels like all over the place, just traveling around this country and collecting stories. That is how I got into acting, interacting with the community, because stories are within people. They're within a family, they're within a village, within a setup.
So in short, content zako hautafuti mbali, like
mtaani
vitu tu zina happen kwa society yetu,
kwa society. Vitu ukiamka asubuhi ile kitu unaanga neighbor kifanya,
venye wifi neighbor anagongwa, venye neighbor kuja akiwa mlevi
kabisa, mtu ameshikona kampango kwa kando, amejaribu kujitetea nini, baby, it's not what it looks like, baby, it's not what it looks like.
Ilo umeshikwa ndani huwezi jitoa. So hapo unapata ngani unaanza kuparara mdomo na kama gunia. Sijui uko sheko kwa situation kama hiyo. Huwezi jitoa ndani.
Okay, I'm lucky sijaishikwa.
No, kishikwa.
But I'm not that type of a person either. Like I told you, I'm a keeper, man. I'm a keeper. I like
squeeze hapa kujitetea, anasema anapanga kadi yake poa.
Like to be honest, like yeah, I'm old school, and when I was growing up they used to call me Lavidavi. Like squeeze uko kwa Lavidavi, brother. Ni shida yako ni kwa gani kwa life? Like uko umekosa nini?
Na hiyo character ni character ulizaliwa nayo, si ndio?
I mean, if at class 6 I have a girlfriend.
Na hiyo character like iko ama ilipotea ama unaionanga kwa labda kwa watu wako kitu gani?
Oh man, I fear for my daughter, man. I have a 4-year-old daughter, man. It's Unajua mtu jizaa
sema afuata footsteps za mzae
mtu jizaa, but yeah, and I'm having good plans for her. I want to reconnect and be closer. You know, shit happens in relationship. At times you break up with people, but I'm not going to dwell on that. But it's been a while since we caught up. But I know who she is. I know how she behaves, and I want to do something for her over this Christmas. I want a Christmas hookup. Like I told you, I'm sentimental. Like yeah, I'm sentimental. I want to surprise her for Christmas. I want to do something special for her for Christmas.
So sweet. Acha nikuulize question nyingine. Like kuna penye ushaenda kufanya performance, ukafeel performance ilikuwa performance best, like ulikilio show, kama uko na any memorable?
Yeah. When I was doing my East African and West African theater tour with the theater company, because we got an opportunity to fly around and just do shows, because it was a sponsored program. So such things like flights, working with other nationalities were like, sort of normal. So when I was doing this show called Shungwaya in this country called Mali, a place called Sukasu, I went on stage. It was a musical show. I went on stage. I was starring I'm not saying of course, but yeah, I was a star of the show. I'm this guy who was doing a sex scene on stage, a drunken sex scene, kind of. I was doing this character of a drunken guy who is being taken advantage of by his brother's wife, because he himself is a drunk who's very fertile, but his brother is very infertile. It was a Costarian piece called Shungwaya. So it was just like my brother's wife trying to hide the shame of my brother not having kids by seducing me to have sex with her. But she has to do this when I'm drunk, because she knows every time I'm drunk, I go to my brother's place and I ask for food. So when she's serving me food, even how she bends over while trying to give me food, she'll be like, "Oh baby, come over." And then I'll start playing from the side, and I'm like, shemeji. So that becomes like a sexual dance. And then the drums and the marimba and all, because our pieces were very African. We did African stories, because as Africans we have a lot of stories. So Shungwaya was that show that left even myself speechless, because I was sick when I was going on stage. I had contracted typhoid and brucella in Nakuru when we were on tour, on a Kenyan tour. So we had gone to perform at the Nakuru Players Theatre, and then I did ugali and matumbo. You guy, the level of diarrhea during that season, bro, kudrive tu na wewe ndio unategemewa, bro. Wewe ndio unafaa ulete hizo mado. You're supposed to be bringing in the cash, and here you are, my man, you are medicated. Lazima hizo madawa ziko nafanya nasikia kisunzi. Uelewa? So it was kind of it was difficult to hack that show. So luckily for me, I was playing a drunken character, but in real life, the drugs were making me drowsy. So every time the lady would spin me around during the dance, I could do like something like, and that was true. I was feeling exactly like that. I was sick on stage, but we got a standing ovation.
So that was your best performance?
Shungwaya for me is just the thing. It's just the show that killed, because there was sex in it, there was wrestling, there was music, there was dance, there was the acting. There was so much. And I was lucky to be in most of those scenes as a main character. I played a character called Makizede, the son of a palm wine harvester. So that's why I'm into liquor, because my dad used to harvest liquor kitambo ni mtu wa mnazi. So from the Costarian setting, so I was intoxicated way much earlier in life. So that was music, that was art, that was beautiful. And I want to do something like that again pretty soon. Like I want to go back on stage and produce another musical.
Okay. Squid ikakuja ukakuwa star mpaka ukaingia kwa TV. Kila siku watu wapumui baba yao. Like ulikuwa anthem by the way, kwa nyumba yetu ulikuwa anthem. Ulikuwa anthem. Wewe ni celeb kwa nyumba yetu tayari.
Oh yeah.
Kwanza najua utanisumbua kiona hii interview.
I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled.
Aya ulikuwa na ujamo ulikuwa like shule home inatoka hood yetu yote ilikuwa inakusifu. Like sijui ulikuwa unaandolaje hiyo fame on your side, maybe ukipata na mseko wa isto naishi like unaenda kwa shop, ulikuwa unaandolaje fame?
Initially it was a bit disturbing. Like I'm someone who's really into my own personal space. Yes, I'm an extrovert, but that these times when I really want when I put this down a little bit, it's making me nervous like that. Okay, yeah. So when you get spotted by people at times when you're just in your car moment, uko tu mtaani, you're just being you, and they're like, no, they're like, shakes, what in the world? So it's like now he's getting to this personality, you're trying to behave nicely, trying to be good, look clean and all that. Maybe you're just in your own world, But I think I got into the fame thing way much earlier in life. After doing my primary school play that was banned by the government at that time. That play was hot, man. We had moments on stage that we were. I don't know, I didn't tell you this, but I grew up in the Rift Valley in Eldoret town. So my primary school is still Kidiwa Primary School. So that was the year that Kidiwa Primary School beat the top schools in the whole. Those schools that always go to the provincials. So wale walikuwa na testa wakitokea hivi kwanza wamelight stage. Kuna mamuziki za kihindi unajua kai. Nyinyi na tu story tu yenyu tu Ukambani, sijui tu wapi, sijui tu
costume zao sasa inakalifu.
Costume kwanza. There was a school that was called UG Primary, Uasin Primary School, like a cool school in Eldoret, in Uasin whatever county or district or whatever thing is in UG. So those guys they had a lot of Indian students, and pupils, so to speak, because the school was in mostly an Indian neighborhood in West Indies, those sides of West Indies, in Eldoret town, the place called West Indies. I sort of like grew up there to a certain extent because my late father was a high school principal, so we had access to a lot of good housing and stuff like that, nice neighborhoods. Because of his job, he was a smart guy. Again, I think I've also taken over his brains in a way, because me and him were friends. After I grew up, now we became friends. We became boys. We could sit down and talk about issues and iron things out. So that is more of my background. But then what we were talking about is that fame part. Being a 15, 14-year-old that is being talked about in the whole neighborhood. Kale kakta ni kanoma, kale kachalika mkamba. Kijana wa Mrs. Musau. Kijana wa Mrs. Musau ni akta mnoma sana. So, and then I got very beautiful women at that point. I'm in class 8 and I'm seeing hot girls. I'm like, good Lord. And I see in those areas of Eldoret town, West Indies, you find a lot of pointees and all that. These people who go to the group of schools. There's so much around you. So you discover you're a favorite all of a sudden. Na kitambo ulikuwa una struggle hata kusema hi ilikuwa shida, lakini sasa hizi umefanya show kali, all of a sudden the hotel
kila mtu ni hi.
Kila mtu sasa ni hi. So I was like okay.
Kidogo ajisikia kijana sukari, kijana asali.
I was like, wow, so this is how it works. But at least I had a very how do we call it? I had a very present father. My dad was very present in my life. So he used to be like, yeah, you're a good-looking guy. You're very talented. But remember, I don't need to bury you because of HIV/AIDS. Yeah, that you got a life to live. So I was given the talk when I was very young because Dad discovered that I'm going out. Either I'm going after chicks or chicks are going after me. One thing was happening. One of the two was happening. And ukweli, it was happening. I was busted kissing my first girlfriend when I was in class 6, and I was beaten like a thug. And that time my mom was our class teacher. My mom was a primary school teacher. Mimi ni mtoto wa walimu.
Ni class teacher wako?
Nakwambia zile viboko nilikuwa nachapwa kaa nyoka.
So hapo alikuwa anakupanish kama mwanafunzi au kupanish kama mtoto wake?
Kama alikuwa ameshika tu bifia zote mbili. Hapo ilikuwa double travel. Alikuwa amezishikanisha juu ile kichapo nilipewa. Nilitandazwa hivi juu ya meza. Ka specimen. Mkora
kutembea.
Nilitembezwa, lakini I was like, so I went home in the evening. So I asked my dad, Kwani, what's wrong with walking with a chick, man? Why me be beaten because I'm walking with a chick?
But sasa inaona sasa unazambiaje mapero? Juu sasa unaona mapero, in fact sasa kuna mapero wana insist mtu wao dem atembe na boy.
I think it's important. It's really important.
Nasikia sasa wanalia akiona mtoto wake ako above 15 16 na ni dem na anatembea na dem, mzazi anaanza kuwa tena worried.
It's a bit perturbing because we're living in crazy times, man. You know, we're living in crazy times, and people pick habits at a very early age. So if you don't watch out for some things as a parent as well, I think you're going to be failing. You have to be very present. You have to talk to your child, especially teenagers, man. You have to be very close to your teenagers. And that's why I want to surprise my daughter over Christmas. Like, I think this parenting thing is just, I think just the fact that I'm a biological father, that thing just never leaves you. The fact that you're someone's father, your life kind of changes. You start looking at situations differently. So I think ni power pia parents to learn kuwa close na watoi, so that ukiona yenyewe ameingia section yenye wewe ufeel ni section poa, unamleta tu na story, unamleta na love, usimlete na accusation, because dunia tayari inamuaccuse. Sasa you bring another accusation on top of a teenager who's going through a lot. Do you know what these young people are going through nowadays? As in, wako na pressure mob. Look at what is happening on social media. Everyone wants to be something. You know, everyone wants to put a certain image, but what if you do not have the settings to put up that image? Do you crash? Do you die? You commit suicide, become a whore? And make us feel sorry for you? You know, it's one of those reality checks that our young people have to be accustomed to, but we cannot blame them, and we can also not say that they are not responsible. Of course they are responsible, but we have to look for a way of balancing whatever they do. Am I going out of line?
I go to sawa. So Squinch, last question before we end up. So like, daughter wako anajua unafanya content, like anajua ni content creator?
She knows. The first time she was taking a good picture, she had a microphone on her hand, and I took that picture, and I know it's somewhere beautiful and somewhere very safe. She was at that time, she was I think 8 months, and she was so comfortable with the mic. I'm like, damn, this is such an artist. Like, she held on to a mic like it is something like so special to her. Like,
so unasema like father like daughter.
That is an explosion. That is a feminine explosion of myself. That chick is gonna shock you people.
Oh, to expect more from your daughter.
Yeah, she's called Zawi Musau.
Zari Musau. Zawi.
Yeah.
Hey, jina tu Squinch, Joe.
But I had to think about it, man.
Jina imeenda shule.
Her original name was Zawadi, so I thought of something funky.
Zari.
So I did Zawi. I just took away some words that I'm like, Zawi sounds nice, sounds strong, powerful.
Na sasa hii ukiingia kwa keja, like sasa anaonanga ni dada ameingia ama anaona ni character imeingia?
Talk about that. She's just a lovely human being. Let's not go into details. I told you it's been a while. It's been a while since so that's why I want to surprise her for Christmas. This Christmas.
Okay.
I'm really working. I've been talking to a German producer who's giving me my next job. So it's a good project that I think I should be able. It's a good story. I don't have to talk much about it because I think indirectly I've signed a non-disclosure agreement. But I'm gonna be working on my next big project pretty soon. And people actually in the meeting right now as we speak. There's a pre-production meeting happening at the other side of the balcony of the National Theatre. So I think I'm at a good place artistically, even after the COVID thing going down and losing a show. Losing a show wasn't easy on me as a person as well. So, ukiingia kwa hii art, jua at times you're gonna suffer. It's not going to be rosy all the time. It's not going to be flowery unless, well, if you were born in State House, maybe your parents can really support you during those difficult times, and maybe you have a side gig or something else working for you financially. That would be beautiful because I'm a farmer as well. I like farming. Yeah.
So farming ni part time.
I picked up farming habits from my dad. My dad was equally a very good farmer, so he taught me a lot about farming, and I stay at my farmhouse in Makutano Junction. Like me, I don't pay rent.
So uski ugumu wa rent?
Story ya landlord niliondokea, and I thank God for my parents. They were lovely and very hardworking, and that's why even in my career I'm very hardworking. I put in a lot of work when I'm working. You should come to one of my sets. I'm always the first person to wake up in the morning, though it's not my time to wake up. Maybe it's probably when I was shooting Baba, maybe the crew has to get up and set up and do stuff like that. I used to wake up before everybody else and go and do my morning run. Before a shoot starts, I'll do my morning run, I'll do my yoga, get into the shower, then do my breakfast. So by the time that camera is on me, my friend, I'm on fire.
Nilikuwa
nishaiva, body yangu iko fiti, I'm flexible, I have my lines.
Unasema tu akishe camera uonyeshe mbaya, uonyeshe dance.
Simuseme tu action tu. Mbona mna ni waste your time because it's called preparation.
Like ulikuwa ushajipanga kushinda kila mtu pale ndani. Unasema tu camera ya show hivi tu.
You have to learn how to prepare yourself as an artist. Preparation is key. Just like even like professional sports. Like you see footballers going into a camp to prepare for a match, like they're in a training camp. If we treat our art the same way, my friend, we're going to be amazing out here. Like before April next year, I'm going to be shocking this continent with big content.
So Squidge, thanks for coming to the show.
Yeah, man.
Mazee tume-appreciate sana.
Oh yeah, and I forgot, Baba is on Showmax as we speak.
It's on Showmax right now?
Like man, me I'm representing internationally already. Like you can go on Showmax and just type Baba, it's going to come on board. Like ni God mazee. Ni God, na nashukuru sana. So I'm working on my next international project because God akikusetia standard fulani, it's wise for you to maintain and go higher. If God is calling you towards an international platform, you have to be spiritually sensitive enough to understand where you are at the moment and where you need to be.
So Squidge, wase wanaza kuget wapi kwa social media?
Social media. I'm such a simple guy on social media. Just go on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Squidge Musau.
Facebook?
Gilbert Squidge Musau.
You show kila pale Squidge Musau.
Squidge Musau everywhere, and I'm putting up a YouTube page called Squidgeville. I'm just collecting my work. I've been trying to do this for a long time, but I think now it's time. I think I have enough content to put on a YouTube channel. Initially, I didn't think I had it together. I know I'm brilliant. I can improvise a few things, but I don't want to do it like that. I think for me, I want to put like say shows like good quality things, like I'm doing this show. Maybe I put a rehearsal of the show and then the show in itself in its entirety. I've done a show, literally a theater show in ya trees. Yeah, from the Karen village. The owner, she's called Anushka. Anushka is a good friend of mine. I've been doing workshops there. I'm a theater trainer as well. I train theater. I teach people how to act, how to be good. So there's a show I did. I played like a tree. So I have videos of my rehearsal. I was playing a tree that is being cut. It was an environmental piece. So I had to act like a tree that has to undergo the cutting and dying and all that. So I had to demonstrate what a tree feels when you're felling it. you know, so
okay, shukran amekuwa ni Squitch kwenye show. Ame show very bad, and this is our second episode. Hope to see you again in our episodes.
great. I got great stuff coming up. Like big stuff is coming up. Like now we're coming back with a bang. Corona has taught us a few lessons, man. So we're in it.
So sasa mnakam kuboxi art very bad.
Tunaifanya, and that's why people like Netflix and Showmax are here. You know, that's why we're having international companies setting base in Kenya, because even as a country it's our time to be blessed. Man, tumepitia pia vitu mob as a country, bro. I think
so sasa una feel art yetu sasa imegrow.
Tumegrow.
Tuko farm.
Tunaweza compete internationally. Hata tumecompete internationally already, you know.
Because nimeona wase kadhaa wa Kenya wako Netflix sasa.
Yeah, like we're doing good. Like Kenya has brilliant this German friend of mine was telling me that that Kenya has one of the most talented actors in Africa. He was rating us so high. He was like, and you guys are very educated. Yes, some of us guys, like I have a diploma from City and Guilds UK, and I scored a distinction. I'm doing my degree soon in international relations.
I know, Squitch.
You know, and I'm looking towards a minimum of a master's degree in whatever I think to master later on in life. Like me, I love books, bro. Upenda kuchop. So tuko blessed to be Kenyans right now.
Kwa Mkenya hakuna kitu tamu kama kwa Mkenya.
That's the most beautiful thing. For you to be Kenyan, like just look at it this way. Like we don't have accent problems. Like if I go to the States right now and just stay for 3 months, I will blend in like so well. I'm going to sound exactly like them, because we just have that thing of assimilating to our environment very well, and we are very clever.
So shukran Squitch. Acha tumalizie show hapo kwa leo.
Tunaweza ongea hadi kesho.
Tunaweza ongea kesho. Nimeona ni storyteller mbaya sana. So maybe tutakuinvite tena kwa show yetu. Na kama uko na project yoyote pia tunaweza come through.
Haina shida. We'll keep talking.
Sawa, tumeshukuru sana. Mzee huyu amekuwa ni Squitch kwenye show yetu ya Swaleh Biggy Talk Show, na hii ni episode yetu ya pili. Hope tutamove tena na tena kwa hizo episodes hapo mbele. Kwa sasa hivi washafika international level. Squitch wako Showmax by the way. Endo wa stream live hapo baba yao. Next time Squitch ana drop banga, na before drop yo banga ama after sha drop yo banga tena atakam kwa show atuambie more about yo banga yake.
And I sing as well. So I'm going to do a single pretty soon.
Okay, bado ni msanii?
I sing. I am an actor, I am a singer, I drum, and I play the marimba. I am a performing artist. I'm not just an actor. I am a performer.
So umesema hii industry kwa kila paluka, mkwa dance tutakupata, kwa ngoma tutakupata, kwa comedy huko.
And I'm a commercial model as well. I'm the current face of Elite Kenya. I was paid a lot of money for just like a simple advert, and for billboards that have not even been erected, but I was paid money for a billboard thingy across this country. So soon you will see my billboard, whatever, like. That's why I'm telling you, God has blessed my career, bro.
Kwa hivyo art inalipa?
Inalipa, bro. Inalipa. Nililipwa pesa kwanza, nikaenda kwa bank, nikatoa 10,000 kwanza kuconfirm hii pesa ni yangu. Nikaingia tu nikasema, my good Lord, I'm actually this rich nigga.
Wasema iliingia ukashtuka.
Iliingia nikasema